I talked all about bike power over and over and over, but I haven't touched on heart rate zones. Write those two numbers down. Those are your max heart rates for the bike and the run. Put on death metal or gangster rap or
pace those super bikers who aren't great swimmers push hard to bridge that gap. And this year, Sebastian Kienle Cameron did just that, push the pace.
Good coverage in Kona this year. Real talent, yeah. Morning, Trainiacs. We got in 5.14 miles, 8.25 kilometers at an average of somewhere around a 4:47 per kilometer, ending at just under 4:30 per kilometer, just under a 7-minute mile, in about 40 minutes. Longest run I've done since Half Ironman Austin. Heel is not perfect, but it's at least workable. So today, let's talk about heart rate zones. I've got a list of video ideas and suggestions from all of you, and I looked at that list this morning, I'm like, oh my God, I talked all about bike power over and over and over, but I haven't touched on heart rate zones. Now, you can obviously use all of the heart rate zones online and just like take 210 minus your age, 180 minus your age, do some zones that way. But ideally, you want your individual heart rate zones, and it's not that hard to get. You just have to do one really hard test. So today, we're gonna talk about how to do that test and then how to take that test and calculate your exact heart rate zones, and then how to use those heart rate zones in designing a training plan. So the easiest way to do it is on a bike trainer indoors in a controlled situation. You can do it on a treadmill, but odds are really good you're gonna get spit off the back of the treadmill. Before you do this, make sure that you're rested, make sure that you're not sick, make sure that you're not sore from another workout. You wanna come into this workout ready to absolutely tear it apart. Like this effort, this is gonna be nuclear. You're gonna be messed up for the rest of the day. So don't go into it with a suboptimal level of performance. So hop on your favorite bike trainer, get yourself some tunes, get ready to hurt. Do a 10 to 15 minute warm up. You wanna open up your lungs. Towards the end of that warm up, you wanna be doing like bursts of say 10-second really hard intervals just to open up the legs, open up the lungs, get ready for a lot of power and a lot of difficulty. After that, what you do is you transition into the protocol. And you can do this with power meter, or you can just do it off of perceived exertion if you just have a basic trainer and no power meter. But what you do is start off with a really, really light spin, like basically walking difficulty. And what you're gonna do is every single minute, you're gonna increase the difficulty. If you're using a power meter, you increase by about 20 watts. If you're using rate of perceived exertion, good rule of thumb is somewhere around 2 gears. So you can downshift about 2 gears. So in a perfect scenario, what's gonna happen is around 8 to 12 minutes, you're gonna get to a point that minute by minute, your heart rate isn't going to increase even though you're increasing the difficulty. Occasionally, your legs might give out before your heart rate maxes out, but what you want is just to absolutely empty the tank, like put on death metal or gangster rap, or I don't know what jacks kids up these days, like Taylor Swift. But when you get to the point that your heart rate doesn't increase for 2 to 3 consecutive minutes, even though you're increasing the difficulty, that is right around your max heart rate for the bike. Take that, add about 10% or so on the run, because that's where you've got to actually hold your entire body. There's a lot more pounding. So somewhere in that 10% more range is your max heart rate on the run. Write those two numbers down. Those are your max heart rates for the bike and the run. Then go over to Google and Google 7-zone heart rate system. And the very first link that you're going to get is going to give you percentages of that max heart rate for your aerobic, your anaerobic, your threshold, like all the 7-zone systems that we recommend using up here, or no, here. And I'm gonna show the link to that video again at the end of this video after we're done talking, so don't worry, you can go check it out. But you can use those percentages to design a training plan coming into your off season, going into your mid season where you're building your base miles and your strength about 3 to 4 months out of a race, coming into dialing in your ideal race plan. That max heart rate customized to you, and those 7 zones are going to give you training metrics that you don't need a fancy power meter, you don't need lactate threshold testing. It's going to also, for really new triathletes, give you a sense of how your body's feeling. If you know that your heart rate is somewhere around zone 3, you can start to recognize like, okay, zone 3, Taren says that this is my tempo zone where I should just be able to chug things out for hours and hours on end. And then you start ingraining that into what your race pace is gonna feel like. It all ends up working together to dial you into that race and have a fantastic experience. And if you're an existing Trainiac, let's go with hit me up in the comments below with either your max heart rate or your max FTP numbers, your best of. I wanna know what kind of beasts I'm dealing with out there. So thank you for watching. Again, there is the video where I explain where and when to use each of the zones. If you feel like going on a binge watching spree, check out the Best of Triathlon Taren down there. And if you are an awesome person, just generally nice and good, please consider subscribing for all of our daily triathlon videos. All right, Trainiacs, there you go, later.